Yeah, how about a round of applause so everyone in the back knows that we're about to start? Great. All right. Tonight we're actually celebrating. We're in for a treat tonight. Okay. Most of us here that know who this person is, we know they're in for a treat, and those who don't, you're in for a treat tonight. Okay. This man needs no introduction. He's been in this business for many, many years. It's been very, very successful in what he's been doing, and he's here to show us tonight. Share with us some of his experiences and kind of school us tonight. So open our minds. Those of you who are here for the first time, open your minds, okay? And just listen in on what this successful person is about to say to you tonight. With no further ado, we have Luis Carrillo with us tonight.
Thank you very much. Okie dokie. Oh, I'm talking my own language right now. I feel so good about that. It's incredible. How many of you guys made the meeting last night? You went to the meeting? How did I do in my Spanish? Pretty good? All I did was I have a great time with the people. Did you notice that? I mean, it's just a lot of laughter and a lot of good times and everything. So, does everybody understand me perfectly well? No problem. Raise your hand if you understand me without a problem. If you don't understand me, raise your hand. What are you doing here? If you only speak Spanish, raise your hand. That's it? Well, if you only speak Spanish, you're probably in the wrong meeting tonight, I'll tell you right now. So let me give you a little history, a little bit. First of all, forgive my voice. You can tell my voice is a little weak. And I don't know what's happening, but it started like a week ago. It just, I got a little frog in my throat. And I've been doing a lot of talking lately. I just got back from overseas. I do a lot of traveling for this company. Actually, I do a lot of traveling for myself. And I just got back from Mexico. I was in Mexicali, Mexico, just a couple of days ago. I did a convention down there for this company. And do me a favor, turn your phones off. I only ask about half an hour of your time. That's it. 1.5 hours, you're out of here. So anyway, long story short, today's the 10th of the month. On the 14th, I go to India. I'll be in New Delhi, India. Then I go to Mumbai, India. Come back, and in November, I'm going to go to Indonesia. In February of next year, I'll be in Thailand. I'll be in Greece. And in March, I'll be back in Medellin, Colombia. And I want you to know that I travel the world. I talk to a lot of people, so this is not my first meeting. In other words, I do this all the time. And basically, this night is not about me. It's about you. And I'm going to talk to you for a handful of minutes only about your future and what you want out of life. I want you to know that I have a history. You have a history. We all have a history. I'm also a well-educated guy. Maybe some of you guys are well-educated. I went to school because I thought when I left home in 1965 at the age of 18, I left home right away to go look for my life, for my future, whatever. I thought that the key to success was education. I always thought about that. And so in 1965, when I left home, that was during the Vietnam War. And back in those days, you either went in the military or they came and got you. Some of the older guys in the room remember those days. And so I joined the military right away as a volunteer. And so after boot camp, my first profession going to school was electrician. In other words, out of boot camp, by the way, all you young guys that are maybe in high school still, because I see a lot of young people in here, or maybe you're checking out, what are you going to do in life? I don't mind telling you, I will never be sorry about my 4 years in the military. It's probably any military veterans in here? 1, 2, anybody else? Give them a hand. It's very important. All I did in the military was have a great time, man. That's what I did in the military. The whole time I was in there, I was having a blast, right? I'll never forget my 4 years. But again, after out of boot camp, the military asked me, what do you want to do for a living? Because everybody should have a job, right? So I said, I want to be a cook. That was the first thing out of my mouth. And the guy said, no, you're not going to be a cook. You're going to be an electrician. And I never even asked for that. And I said to the guy, wait a minute, you just asked me a second ago what I wanted to do in the military, and I told you I want to be a cook. And you said to me, no, you're going to be an electrician. How did that work out? And he says to me, well, that's your first lesson about the military. In other words, we ask you what you want to do, and then we tell you what you're going to do. It's just that simple, So I went to electrical school, graduated, became an electrician. And I did that for 4 years in the military. That's first education, license in your pocket. I don't know what you have studied or what you have not studied. I don't know if you've gone to school or not gone to school, but why do you go to school? For what possible reason? Why do you go to school? So you have a career, right? So you get a job somewhere. So you have a great job, have good money, et cetera, et cetera. That was the first career I had. I came out of the military as a veteran. You know, they would pay my GI Bill. That means that they would send me to college. Second career, I didn't stay an electrician. I became an air traffic controller. How many of you guys know what an air traffic controller is? You know what that is? Okay, great. Some of you know. So I went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University is in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm a graduate, 4-year degree in aeronautical sciences. That's a lot of education. Okay, a lot of studying, a lot of engineering, a lot of mathematics, etc. I'm trying to make a point with you guys. I was an air traffic controller for 10 years. Full journeyman, Miami International, the big tower. Every time you drive by that place and you look up on that tower, you can say, hey, Louis Carrillo came out of there. Second career. Third career, I was a detective in Miami. I used to chase bad guys in Brownsville, Overtown, Liberty City, and the southwest section of Miami. And I want you to know that I did that for almost 5 years. And some of you guys look a little familiar to me, by the way. I just want you to know. Yeah, when you take your glasses off, man, I really recognize you now. You know what I'm saying? Why am I telling you all this stuff? I'm telling you all this stuff, first of all, lighten you up a little bit, you know, relax about the whole thing. But you know what? You know what you get when you have a great education? I have a great education. I'm an educated man. I'm not an idiot. I'm a college graduate. I have a 4-year degree in aeronautics. I studied electricity. That's also a complex subject matter. I don't know. Any electricians in here? One electrician. There's a handful of you guys. I went to electrical school to learn the theoretical side of electricity. What's the difference between alternating current, direct current? What's Ohm's law, this law, that law? It's a complicated environment, but I learned that. And then my last career was criminology. You don't just go out and chase bad guys. You got to know exactly what you're doing. You got to know how to stay out of trouble, et cetera, et cetera. I was not a police officer. I was a detective licensed by the state of Florida, working for Dade County, Florida. Quite a bit of difference. Armed the whole time. I mean, everything. The whole works, just like you would imagine it. And so what was the results of all that education? All that education, all those books in my head, all those exams, all that stuff bought me a little house in Fort Lauderdale, bought me a little car, a 1975 Datsun B210 hatchback. It bought me a little cucaracha car. And every single day I would fight I-95, 826, 836, or the Palmetto Expressway to get to work every single day, week after week, month after month, year after year, year after year after year after year. And that's what you live right now. That's your life, not mine. So fourth career. Let me tell you about my fourth career, because what I want to do here today is share with you a dream, a possible dream, and a better lifestyle for you. Everything I talk about, I already have. I've always been driven. You know what that means? A driven guy is somebody that wants more from life. My whole life, I have been hungry for a good life. Ambition. That's the right word. My whole life. And so I thought at the beginning, maybe some of you guys are ambitious. I thought when I was a young kid that to get my dreams would require work and education. And what happens is that if you have a good education, it translates into a good job. That's what it translates into, okay? However, I want you to know something. If you have a good job and if you have a good education, you should thank God for that. And I'll tell you why. Because today in this country, we're sucking canal water. You know as well as I, you know, just recently in the news media, they put out what? They put out 7.8% unemployment rate. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it for one single moment. It's a lot higher than that. But right now, the elections and everything, you know what's going on. It's all political garbage. I wouldn't believe one single thing in the news media today if you paid me. You know what? Everything's invented. They invent everything because they're all trying to maneuver each other, you know, whatever it is. So if you have a good job, congratulations, because you've been blessed. However, you don't have any freedom. And so the conversation here tonight is maybe you want to be free. Maybe. I don't know. By the way, I haven't gone to work in 27 years. Now watch this. I went to look at the business when I was 34 years old. I'm 65. And so at the age of 34, after 3 separate careers, after 3 separate professions, after 3 separate licenses, okay, still hungry for a better life, I received a phone call one day, just like you did. No more, no less. Somebody called me at the house. I was living in Fort Lauderdale, and it was an older man. The guy was about 70-some years old, and I allowed him to come to my house to talk to me about this business that I'm going to share with you here, only out of respect for him. I don't like to disappoint people. And so what happened was, maybe you're here out of respect for the person that invited you here. Maybe you're doing somebody a favor. I simply said to the man, go ahead and come to the house, show me your business, whatever you're talking about. Remember, I've already been an electrician. I've already been an air traffic controller. I am now a detective in my house, tired, because I used to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week in Miami chasing bad guys. And so the older guy came to my house, and I allowed him in my home because he was the father of my wife's best girlfriend. And you're going to meet my wife here in a second. So the guy's name was Robert. I said, Mr. Bob, you can come over and talk to me about whatever you want to talk to me about. That was 1981. Some of you guys weren't born yet. Okay? And I looked at a business opportunity, and he said something to me. He said, Louis, and I'm going to ask you the same question now. The question was, if money and time was no factor, if money and time was no factor, how would you live your life? And I said to him, what do you mean by that? And first of all, remember, I'm a detective in Miami, so I said, is this legal? Because the guy looked a little shifty to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the guy, thinking to myself, if money and time is no factor, I mean, what kind of deal are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Money and time is no factor. What would you do in your life? And I'm thinking to myself, I said, Mr. Bob, if money and time was no factor, I would travel the world with my family. I would go to Europe. I would go vacation in Hawaii. I would vacation in Mexico. I would go to Acapulco. I would buy a bigger house. I don't know, man. I'd be out of debt. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't owe no money. I wouldn't owe anybody any money. I wouldn't use credit cards all the time. I would just my kids would be in private school. I mean, I just rattled off 1,000 things. You know what I'm saying? And I said, by the way, I've been to school most of my life. I've got all kinds of degrees, man. You know what I'm saying? I got 1,000 books inside my head. I've passed 100 exams already. I've got all kinds of jobs. I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, let's talk about your dreams for a minute. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to talk to you about your dreams. Listen carefully, okay? Number 1, where would you like to travel during your lifetime? My wife and I, you're going to meet her here in a minute. My wife and I have been to 45 different countries. My wife and I have been to Hawaii, I think, about 40 times already. We have vacation in Hawaii, all around the world, Rio de Janeiro. We have been all over not because I was an electrician, not because I was an air traffic controller, and not because I was a detective in Miami. We traveled the world because we got involved in this business 30 years ago. Let me just kind of repeat that for a second so you comprehend my statement. 30 years. And so there's no pie in the sky for nobody. There's no easy ride in anything you try in life. If you want to have a wonderful life, it takes work and effort. However, I'll bet you a nickel there's a lot of people in here that already work like a bunch of animals. You probably go to work every single day. You work Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday. You get up every single morning. You got to face I-95, 826, 836. You go to your job site and you put in 8, 9, 10 hours every single day. You work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow, Saturday, so did I. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Tomorrow you will get up early in the morning. You shall get in your car and you shall go to work. You know why? Because you're enslaved. You are incarcerated by the system in the United States. What is the system in the United States? Stay with me. You guys are really paying good attention, and I know I have your attention because you want to break out of that system if you can do it. Now watch. You get out of high school at the age of 18. So did I. Hialeah High School, class of 1965. What do you do next? You're either going to go to college to get a job, or you're going to go in the military like I did, but you're going to do something for how long? You're going to do it for 50 years. You're going to do something for 5 decades. Now you're 68. You got out of high school at 18. 50 years later, you're 68 years old. Now you qualify for what? You qualify for Social Security. And I want you guys to know that if you're kind of young sitting in here, I wouldn't hold my breath too long about your Social Security check. A guy my age bracket will collect it, but if you're really young in this room, you're not going to collect nothing. You know why? Because the government has dismantled it. In other words, they have robbed so much out of Social Security that for you, it's not going to be there. So you better have a better plan. 50 years, you're an old man. You're an old lady. 68 years old. I'm almost qualifying for that now because I'm 65. I told you, right? If you're lucky enough and you had a good job and you have a pension, like my father-in-law did, he was a milkman his entire life. Now he qualifies to collect Social Security. They pay him about $650 a month. Listen to this. And now his pension with the who are the people that drive trucks? What's the pension, sweetheart? The union, Teamsters. The Teamsters pays him $350 a month. So between the Social Security check and the Teamsters, my father-in-law, who's 99 years old, watch, he's going to be 100 in May, right? He collects about $1,000 a month in his retirement program. So all the brothers and all the sisters come together and add to that money so that the old man can live until his days are up. Okay? You can't survive on what the government has for you and what you can do yourself as far as working your whole life. So the dream is what? The dream is to the next 2 to 5 years. The next 2 to 5 years, your lifestyle is going to be different. That's what I saw in 1981. Now, I want you to know that everything in life is a decision. It was a decision for me to become an electrician. I don't know what you do for a living. I'm not going to ask you. But whatever you do for a living, wherever you work, it was a decision to do that. It was a decision for me to go to college and graduate with an aeronautical degree. That's a tough course, man. That's not overnight stuff. That's a lot of engineering, a lot of mathematics, and a lot of concentrated work to get a degree in aeronautical sciences from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Daytona Beach, the #1 accredited university in the world for aeronautics. Out of there comes the aeronauts and Air Force fighter pilots. In other words, you got to really want to do that. You follow me? It's a real decision to become a detective in Miami and stay alive for years and stay out of trouble and chase bad guys. It's a decision. What you do for a living right now, you do it every single day. It's a decision. So if you decide that you want a better life, that will be what? Another decision. And that's why we're here tonight. I'm going to show you a program. Can you tell my voice is kind of like going out the door a little bit? You guys having fun yet? Okay. So dream with me. My wife and I, when we saw the business, we lived in Fort Lauderdale, Griffin Road. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to tell you where I used to live. Griffin Road, right? You turn left off of Griffin Road after you go north on I-75. You turn left, go to 164th Terrace. You turn left on 164th. It's the third or the fourth house on your left-hand side. 4710. Southwest 164th Terrace. The entire house was the size of this stage. I could go from the kitchen to the bathroom by going like this. I was there, man. And if I had to go to my bedroom, I'd go like this, and I walked in the bedroom. I was in my house. That's after being an electrician. That's after being an air traffic controller. And that's after being a detective. Some of you guys are going to relate to this. You've been working your brains out. You're still working and living in the same house. Do you see any kind of future in front of you? That's up to you. You answer that question yourself. Little house with my little cucaracha car. I used to blow smoke out the back. That 1975 Datsun B210 hatchback. I used to put that thing in gear and blow smoke out the back as I drove to Miami to pick up my equipment on 17th Avenue and 30th Street. Go out and chase bad guys all day long. In my cucaracha car all the way back. I used to take 27th Avenue to go north because I-95 was all jammed up with people, and I used to find my way around to get back home. What happened with my fourth career? Today I live in a 400-acre estate, 6,000 square foot home, 1 hour north of Orlando, 3 kilometers of waterfront, 5 lakes inside of my property. My home is 6,000 square feet, and I have no mortgage. That means I own it. Lock, stock, and barrel is paid for. A couple of years ago, they offered me $12 million, and I walked away from it. Why? Because millions is no longer important to me. What's important to me? My wife. You're going to meet her here in a minute. I've been with the same woman for 42 years. You can clap for that. 42 years together, married for 40. We celebrated 40 years anniversary July 15th. You know, I got to tell you, when she was, I met her when she was 21, and I was 23. You know what I'm saying? And she had long blonde hair, just unbelievable, man. It's just gorgeous woman. You boys understand what I'm talking about, right? I was in a club in Miami. Yeah, you guys that are young, you got this big grin on your face. Yeah, yo, man, you're still thinking about the old days, right? That's right. And that girl walked by me, and I went, oh, look at this unbelievable, slick lady, man. She was 21, and I was 23, and now I'm 65, and she's 39. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I got older and older and older. She stayed back there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so today we have no debt. We have money in the bank, and we made it. We made it in this thing. Fourth career, had nothing to do with electricity. I want to keep going back to that, okay, because I want you to understand me. I respect you if you have a job. Don't get me wrong. I think it's wonderful to be employed. I know what it is to be employed. I was employed until I was 38 years old. At the age of 38, I got free. I've always been hungry for a better life. I am a choleric. I'm a driven dude. I've been a driven guy my entire life. I have even the eyes of an eagle. I have the eyes. I have the focus of an eagle and the patience of an angel. I shall make it in life. And for you guys that understand Spanish, I want you to know that I was born in the United States. I'm first generation American. My mom and dad came from Cuba in 1937. 1937, they came to this country. Pero hablo español perfectamente bien. I can communicate either language. My father came to this country in 1937 at the age of 21. Had no education. He had no language. He couldn't speak English, nothing at all. He was a lavaplatos. He was washing dishes in New York. I was born in Queens. I was raised in Queens and in the Bronx. And I'm a city kid. I came out of an alleyway. But I came out of an alleyway looking for a better life. You can be born poor. You don't have to die poor. Not in this country. Okay? And for you guys that are looking at this opportunity, listen carefully. If you speak Spanish, I want you to understand me perfectly well. A este servidor no le da la gana de ser pobre. Fíjate, es casi soberbio, fíjate. Este hombre no le da la gana de ser pobre. Y nunca va a ser pobre. Uno puede nacer pobre. Uno puede nacer pobre. Pero uno en este país no tiene que morirse pobre. And what I told these people in the Spanish language is in the United States you can be born poor, but you don't have to die poor. And the reason you don't have to die poor is because in the United States of America, if you're willing to work, you can find a business, you can become an entrepreneur, a business person, and in the next 2, 3, 4 years, you can be free. No longer have to work for nobody. In the next 5 to 10 to 15, you can be a multimillionaire if you want to be. You just have to want to be. You have to be hungry in life. So let me show you this business now, and then we'll call it a day, okay? Now, the person that invited you here tonight, all they're going to do is ask you the following question. They're going to say, what do you think? You want to get involved? And what you're going to do is you're going to join a team. You're going to join a team of people that are in business, and they're going to give you some guidance. They're going to give you some guidance at the beginning so you can get going, and as time goes on, you'll be able to run your own affairs because you will be building your own company, okay? But at the very beginning, it's a new profession. Since it's a new profession, you got to have a little guidance at the beginning, okay? So you guys know as well as I, you know what I'm going to do? I need to have my hands free right now. Let's see. We don't have a, ¿cómo se llama? Un tareco eso que le pones esto ahí. ¿Eh? ¿Cómo se llama el tareco ese? Tú sabes, el tarequito ese que... So I can stand in front of it and talk to all these wonderful people. Yeah, un tareco. You have a tareco? You know, a tareco. Si no tiene tareco, me avisa. Don't worry about it. How many Cubans we got in here? Raise your hand. Cubano. Ah, descarado. Todo el mundo aquí. No tiene tareco aquí, obvio. Okay. Olvídate. Bueno. Anyway, so without the tareco, I talk to you without the tareco. Listen to me for a second. You guys understand, without any question at all, that to run a company, to have a business, you must have products. Or a service. One or the other. You got to have a product or you got to have a service. If you don't have a product or a service, you have no business. So in our particular case, our number one product. Here we go. El tareco llegó, el tareco llegó. I just need to hold her. Ajá, perfecto. Súbeme el tareco ese. Tú sabes que yo invento palabras, ¿no? Tareco. Y como soy americano, fíjate. Como soy americano. Como soy americano. Entonces, como soy americano, lo que pasa es lo siguiente, que mi primer idioma es inglés. Y si yo no entiendo algo, pues yo lo invento. Ejemplo, yo estoy en España hablando con los españoles, tú sabes que hablan castellano, ¿no? Y le digo a la gente, mira, yo voy a levantar este negocio contigo o sin tigo. Está bien. Ok. Oye, coño. Oye, no se lo digan a Pepe, ¿sabes? No se lo digan a Pepe. De todas maneras, mira. Ellos en España, hablando con los españoles que hablan castellano, tú sabes. Me están escuchando. y le digo a los españoles, oye, yo voy a levantar este negocio contigo o sin tigo. Y la gente se me queda mirando, sin tigo. ¿Qué dijo Carrillo? No, que sin tigo. Y me dice un amigo mío, oye Carrillo, es que no hay tal palabra, sin tigo no hay tal palabra. Y me dice, ¿de dónde tú sacaste esa palabra? Y yo digo, bueno, la lógica me dice lo siguiente. Si yo contigo, eso significa de que tú eres un tigo. Porque voy contigo. Y por lo tanto, si hay tal palabra como contigo, pues entonces sin tigo. Y a mí me suena perfectamente bien, ¿sabe? Oye, pero esto se cae, men. Nos estamos riendo, pero hay una parte seria de este negocio, fíjate. Es la oportunidad, fíjate. Muy importante. Nuestro catálogo de vitaminas orgánicas es el catálogo más grande del mundo. The biggest, I'm sorry, English. I'm sorry. That's right. This is an American meeting. This is an English meeting. Anyway, this is our number one catalog. It's the Nutrilite Organic Vitamin Catalog. It is the number one in the world. We did $4 billion in sales last year in 82 different countries. This year, we believe that we will do $5 billion in sales with this catalog. That's number one catalog. Number 2 catalog is Skincare Systems. Skincare Systems, the Artistry Cosmetic Company is one of the biggest in the world. It's up there towards the top. It's comparable to Estee Lauder, Lancome, Shiseido, and Clinique. You ladies that understand all this kind of stuff, this is a big deal to you, right? And so Miss America represents our products. And then the third catalog we've got is the consumable products that are made by the Amway Company. Recently, what happened, in the last couple of years, the Amway Company got involved with a handful of other companies that are very interesting, such as Ace Hardware Store, Sears, Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, Bass Pro Shops, Budget Rent-A-Car. All of these companies came on our website. We're not on their website. They're on our website, okay? And now when you go to Sears, you can actually buy something at a lower cost with a discount and get credit for the purchase, okay? So they are on our team right now. Sears, Best Buy, Ace Hardware, and a whole slew of companies. Having said that, thank you very much. Having said that, let's go now to the plan itself. It's okay, no big deal. Having said that, let's go to the plan itself. Follow me for the next handful of minutes and we're out of here. I want you to know that every single product that you represent in your business has 4 different factors. Okay? Number 1, every product, and we have millions, listen carefully, we have millions of products. Every product has a point value. Let me repeat this to you. A point value. That means that if I purchase vitamins from the Nutrilite company, every single product has a point value to it. Okay? If my wife uses the Artistry catalog and she buys cosmetics, every single thing that she buys has point value. Okay? Every product that we have has business volume. Every product that we have has a wholesale price. And every product that we have has a retail price. That means that 4 different values for each product that we have in the company. And remember this, we have millions of products. That means that when you get involved with us on the team, the first thing you want to do is you want to see what you represent. What does your company represent? Which is what I did back 30 years ago. I've been doing this for 30 years. That's a long time. So here's the goal. I explained to you what point value is, right? Point value is that every product is worth so many points. And the first goal is 7,500 points of business. Listen carefully. 7,500 points of business will pay you between $45,000 and $60,000 a year. 7,500 points of business is approximately, remember there's 4 values to every product. So 7,500 points is approximately $23,500 in value. That means 7,500 points, $23,500 in a month, times 12 is so much volume, and your income is between $45,000 and $60,000. Let me park myself there for a minute, okay? Remember, every product has a point value. That means if you open up this catalog, no matter what you look at has a point value to it. Everything, okay? Our goal is 7,500 because we want to be free. Listen carefully. Being free, let me give you the definition of freedom. The definition of freedom for you is that you're no longer going to work for anybody. That doesn't make you a millionaire. It makes you free. And you've got to understand the difference between freedom and being wealthy. Being wealthy is a process. It sometimes takes you decades. 10 years, 15, 20. The mature man and woman sitting in this room tonight understands the difference between just making money and being wealthy. Being wealthy is sometimes a lifelong achievement. It takes you years to become a multimillionaire. You cannot do that overnight. But to be free requires what? An income. Example, let's say you work somewhere, you have a job in Miami, you have a job in Fort Lauderdale. If you owned your own company and you were making $60,000 a year, raise your hand if you would be full-time in your own business. Did you understand my question? If you were making between $45,000 and $60,000 a year, how many of you would never work for anybody else again the rest of your life? Every time I ask the question, you're understanding me more and more. Think for 1 second. Whatever job you've got, how much money do you make right now per year? Don't tell me. You think about the number, okay? Let me ask the question again. Whatever you make, you're working right now 40, 50, 60 hours a week, okay? Every morning you get up and you get on 995, 826 Palmetto Expressway, 836 the Turnpike. You're going to work tomorrow, buddy. I'll guarantee if you want a paycheck, you're going to go to work tomorrow. Whatever you make, think about your employment. How much are you paid for what you do? If you had your own company, you own your own business, and you're making $60,000 a year, how many of you would have to seriously consider going full-time in your own business? Okay. I did that in 4 years. That means that I was able to quit my job after 4 years of my own business, and then the rest is history, because freedom is the first thing that you are going to be able to really enjoy. The lifestyle of somebody full-time in this business is very impressive. You're going to get up. I get up for the last 27 years. I've been able to get up every morning whenever I feel like it. I go to bed at night whenever I feel like it, because I am not going to work tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is a Friday. You're going to get up by an alarm clock, and you're going to roll out of bed. You're going to go take your shower. You're going to wake up. You're going to grab coffee, maybe a little breakfast, whatever. You're going to walk out your front door tomorrow morning, and you're going to get in your car. You're going to put that thing in drive, and you're going to drive away from your home or your apartment, and you're going to the work site. Tomorrow, when you go to your work site, I shall be snoring next to the blonde. ¿Qué descarado el tipo este, ¿verdad? El tipo es un descarado, ¿no? That's right. So, that's the first step along the way. So let me talk about you for a second, all right? How do you do the 7,500 points? Number one, if you own your own company, you buy your own product at wholesale. Every time you buy something from this website, what do you get? Say it loud. What do you get? Points. You get points. The more points you do, the more money you'll make. What is the goal? 7,500 points, because everything begins at the 7,500 point level and 25% return on the volume that you're doing every month. You want to get to the 25% level, which is 7,500 points. How do you do it? Number one, you become loyal to your own company. You own your business. Number two, you can sell products. Listen to me for a second. I told you that I was an electrician. I told you that I was an air traffic controller. I told you that I was a detective. During my explanation to you, did you ever hear the word sales in any profession? You never heard it one time. People say, Louis, you're a salesperson. I say, you're mistaken. I'm an electrician, I'm an air traffic controller, and I'm a detective. Did you ever hear the word sales in there? You did not. However, I came out of an alleyway in New York, and you know what that means? That means I'm afraid of nobody. What does that mean? I can talk to anybody. You do not intimidate me at all. I want you to understand that for a second. You do not intimidate me at all. What does that mean? That means that if I have chemistry with you, let's say you and I meet in a restaurant somewhere, and I like you, and let's say I realize that you like me. Listen, you gotta pay attention. You're learning from an old veteran here. Let's say you and I are getting along just fine. We have chemistry with each other. We enjoy each other's companies. We have no conflict. I'm going to approach you sooner or later about this business. You do not scare me because you want a better life also. And I know you do. And that means I've got to have enough guts to talk to you and say, would you give me half an hour of your time? That's how I built my business. No fear. Watch this. This is you right here. Your goal is what? Your goal is to do 7,500 points. How are you going to do it? You're going to buy your own product. You're going to be loyal to your own product. You're going to sell some products. My wife, we'll talk to you in a little bit. She is much better than me at selling than me. My projection here, what I wanted to do right away was number 3. There's only 3 steps. I'm almost done with this plan. The third plan was to distribute. The third way. Listen carefully. You buy your own product, what happens? You get points. If you learn how to sell products, what happens? You get points. If you learn how to talk to people and you sponsor someone else into the business, what happens when they start doing points? It's added to your points, etc., etc., etc. Forever. It's called referral-based marketing. Some of you guys that went to college that have a marketing degree, business administration, marketing degree, you've got to appreciate the wisdom of this. Because you can look and say, wow, that's a heck of a plan, man. In other words, it'll work. Been around 52 years, $12 billion in volume, 82 different countries. This is a powerful outfit. This is not a small company, okay? Here's what happens. You're going to do 7,500 points by sponsoring people, and here's what happens next, and we're done. Watch this. This is your partner. This is your partner. You call it a partnership. You can call it a franchise. It doesn't matter what you call it. Call it whatever you want. Your job is to help your partner get to 7,500 points. How are you going to get your partner to 7,500 points? Your partner is going to learn how to be loyal to their own products. Your partner is going to learn how to sell some products. Your partner is going to distribute also. And once you help your partner get to that point, you're going to receive a 4% check every single month for the rest of your life of the personal business volume of your partner paid by a third company. In other words, your partner gets all his money. You will not take a penny from him, but a third party will cut you a check every month for 4% of the personal business volume, and they'll deposit that in your bank. Listen carefully. What is that called? That's called residual income. How in the world did I stop working 27 years ago? Called residuals. If they're going to pay you 4% for one partner that you help that person get to 7,500 points, and you partner a second partner that does the 7,500 and they pay you the 4%, the third partner, 4%. I have a question for you. How many partners are you going to have? You're going to have a lot of partners. And so the talent of electricity is to go to school and learn the theoretical knowledge of electricity, how it works. All kinds of mathematical formulas. Ohm's law, this law, that law. What is the difference between alternating current and direct current? 1,000 things. That's the talent there. Air traffic control is aviation, aeronautical studies, engineering, all kinds of stuff. Years and years of studying, okay, to get a degree in aeronautics. Detective work is criminology. Years of being able to do that kind of work and knowing how to cover your back all the time in the streets. And if you're born in Queens, New York, like me, and raised in the streets, I'm very good. I got eyes in the back of my head, and a lot of you guys have eyes in the back of your head. I can see danger coming my way without even looking. Some of you guys do the same thing. What's the talent here? All people. Prejudge nobody. See, because I don't know you, friend. I don't know who you are. I don't know how much hunger you have inside your head. I have no idea. The minute I try to prejudge somebody, I've already made a mistake. I learned that years ago. So every time I meet somebody, and every time that person and I get along just fine, I'm going to talk to you about it, because I don't know who you are. You might want a lot of things from life, like I want a lot of things from life. Why not you? So in the last 30 years, I want you to believe this. I've got a lot of partners in 9 different countries. And I've been free for a long time. You know what? So all I'm doing here tonight is being your friend for 1 hour. You and I are friends. That's it. I'm not your boss. I'm not anything. I'm just your friend for about 1 hour. Somebody had the courtesy of showing me this program 30 years ago. Thank God. You know why? Because I would still be 65 years old. And I would have never had a shot at life. Somebody gave you a shot at life and you ought to take it. By the way, I'm a Christian guy and I believe certain things, okay? Now watch this. I believe in my heart that God gives you a window. He opens a window for you. It's a window of opportunity. You crack open the window and you put your foot through that window and you get inside, okay? He gives you the opportunity and you should take it. Because you're sitting in the room. You can never tell nobody for the rest of your life that you never had a shot at life. You can never say that. Because in this business, there's thousands and thousands of people that are wealthy because of it. They're free. They don't go to work. And I met them around the world. Wish me luck as I travel the planet. I'll be in India in 3 days. I'll be in New Delhi. I'll talk to 60,000 people. They're waiting for me in a Coliseum. I have about 250 recordings. And I'm a motivational speaker. Obviously, you can tell. In other words, I learned how to do this. I talk to people, and I'm free and rich. Un callejero cualquiera. Pay attention. Free and wealthy. In other words, that's your dream now. You got to think like that. If you don't have an attitude in life, and if you can't even dream, then you have a job waiting for you. Okay? And you'll face 50 years working for the other man that basically doesn't respect you. He will not pay you what you're worth. You know he won't. And you'll have this life of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, over and over and over and over. And one day you'll wake up at my age. You will be 65 one day. And you can look back on life and say, you know what? I saw an opportunity and I took a chance and I went for it. Why not? This is America, my friend. This is the United States of America. It's the greatest country on the planet. And you and I are Americans. We all own this country. You understand me? And we have a right to succeed. Now I want you to meet the love of my life. La rubia. First time I saw this girl, she was 21 years old. Esta niña tenía 21 años. Una cosa impresionante, ¿sabes? Entonces, cuando yo tenía 23 años de edad, when I was 23 years old, yo era tremendo jodedor. ¿Tú me entiendes? Una cosa impresionante. Me pasaba la vida molestando, ¿tú me entiendes? And I was at the peak of my molestaciones, you know? I had my own pad. I was driving a Corvette. I was bad news, man. You know what? And this girl walked in front of me and I said, oh my gosh, es que llegó demasiado temprano. You know, too early. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time I talked to God, I think. Dios mío, que se desaparezca por 3 años más todavía. Soy jovencito, un niñito de 23 años. And God would say to me, this is the woman for you. I separate her for you. I said, ay, Dios mío, what am I going to do, right? Anyway, she has been my partner, my friend, my business partner, the mother of our children. She has been my best friend. I love her. I love her from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet. Even her aroma turns me on. I mean, everything about my wife, Kathy. Come on, sweetheart. This is my wife.
You don't have to feel like a wasted space. You're original. Cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds.
Thank you. Thank you, Angelica. You're so beautiful. Look how beautiful that little girl is. Oh my goodness gracious. Are you married? She's not married. Wow. I go everywhere with product. Everywhere I go with product. I either have an excess in my hand, or I have a perfect water, or I have rhodiola to give to someone. Everybody needs rhodiola. How did we live without rhodiola? or I have a woman's pack to give to someone. I have Double X with me. I just have my product with me all the time. And it is the first and most important thing that I learned, because I said, okay, we're in this new business. How do we do this? Well, the first thing you have to do is change your brand of consumables. And some people don't get that. Some people think, oh, we're going to have a great time, a lot of people. But if you're not moving product, then you've got no PV. You've got no business volume. And if you've got no business volume, you don't get a bonus check. So I realized that for whatever reason, I realized that right from the beginning, that I needed to learn how to move product. First, change my brand of consumables so that everything that I was using, whether I liked it or not, I'm going to say that again. I use all my products, whether I like them or I love them, actually. But whether you like them or not makes no difference. It's your business. It's your business. So, ladies, just for 1 second, think about what you have in your purse. Those of you that have been in the business a while. For those of you that are brand new, think about what you're going to change in your purse. You want to make sure it's all your product. Nothing from snake products. That's what we call them. We call all brand X products that are not from the Amway business snake products. Why? Because they eat up your business. They destroy your business. And so understand that that's the first and most important part. And it's very exciting right now because we have we have all three of our daughters. 2 of them are married. And then the middle one, we're looking. But all 3 of them are purchasing all their products now. First of all, they love the product. And second of all, they want a bonus. They want to be able to get a bonus every month. So that's the very first step, is change your brand of consumables. Learn your products. In the very beginning, when Louie and I got in the business, I realized I wanted to buy one of everything. That's my personality. I love to shop. It doesn't make any difference if it's in a catalog or in a store. I love to shop. I wanted one of everything. And that was not feasible for us initially. So I needed to realize what I could use out of our products that could do many things in my house. For example, some of the cleaning products, the LOC, can clean everything in your house, except that you don't put that in your dishwasher. But it can clean everything else. And so you can understand how you grow in this business. And then every month I decided to buy a different and new product and learn my products. I'm very excited about selling Nutrilite right now because everyone you talk to has a health need. We were with someone today who has high cholesterol and is on what they call statins. That is the worst possible chemical thing to ingest into your body. I mean, if you do the research, it is horrible. Well, Nutrilite has cholesterol health. I'm not a health professional, and I'm not telling anybody to change anything. I always say talk to your doctor, but find a doctor that has some nutritional information also, not just chemical and synthetic, because they all want to give you a prescription. So he was very excited today. He was very excited. We got him on the Perfect Pack. We got him on the vitamin D. We got him on cholesterol health. We got him on heart health with the omega fish oil. I mean, just talk to people about their health needs, and have your Nutrilite, have lots of Nutrilite catalogs with you. Because right now in the Nutrilite catalog, you go to the product and read what's in it. You don't have to remember all of that. It's right in the product. So it's very, very exciting. Louie and I and our family, we believe in faith, we believe in family, and we believe in freedom. And we love this nation. We love our business. We're very, very, very family. We're getting ready to go to Memphis, Tennessee, where My whole family is going to come together. My daughter's coming from Hawaii. Another daughter is coming from Florida. My other daughter lives in Memphis, just got married. And then my son-in-law is coming from the Mojave Desert in California. So we're all going to be together in Memphis, and we're so very, very, very excited. But we all believe that, faith, family, and freedom. And I'm just here to tell you that this, what you have in your hands today, if you're brand new here tonight and if you're a guest, this is the best opportunity that you will ever find, not only in this nation, but in the world. Louis is going to India. He's going to India on Sunday, where he will speak to 60,000 people. Wow. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And we were talking in the back before, and I said, you know, there's you have a wonderful and large Spanish group here in Miami. At any moment, any of you could go find a very large Russian group here in Miami, or a large Indian group here in Miami, or a large Korean group. Whatever you decide to do with this business, set your goals. And the business is so, it's such a fabulous journey. You find out a lot about people, and the goal is to just put as many people into your business as possible and let God sort them out. There's a song called Freedom by Paul McCartney, and some of the words they say, you must fight for the right to live in freedom. And for financial freedom, there's really only 5% of the nation that has achieved financial freedom. Why not you? You have the opportunity. The good part about this business is you get all the glory when you cross the stage and the victory is yours. The bad part about this business, if you don't do it and you quit, that's yours too. So the decision is in your hands. You are obviously associated with one of the best groups in South Florida. You are totally associated with leaders and people that are going to give you everything you need to succeed. Now it's up to you. Set your goals, and we'll see you on the beaches. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a wonderful meeting. I hope you learned something here, and I hope you decide to get involved. The person that invited you here tonight is going to ask you, all right? And just as a friend now, I recommend to you that you don't hesitate, because there's no risk factor here. There's no capital risk. There's no, I cannot, after 30 years, I cannot come up with one single way that I can damage myself in the business. It's impossible. You're going to make money right away. And as you work your way up to 7,500 points, you know, up here is 45 to 60,000. But as you work your way up to the points, you'll be making, you know, 1,000 and 5,000 and 12,000 and 15,000 as you work your way up that ladder right there. But of course, I talk about 7,500 points because that's a great beginning point to really make a lot of money. Okay. So listen, God bless you all. It's been a wonderful night for me. I love being here. I've had a wonderful time with you. And I wish you the best no matter what happens. You know, we walk in as friends, we leave as friends, and God bless. Thank you very much.